Hi, everybody. This is Shane Armin Rowe, and welcome to Valheim. This is the latest and greatest survival type crafting game. It's getting a lot of good press. It's a lot of people are playing it, and I thought I would take just a few minutes, well into the game, to show you sort of what you can hope to see. Now, I'm not going to go through character creation or the first 20 minutes. I think you guys would probably like to see what it looks like considerably further along in the game so you can see sort of where you're going. Um, Here, I've already got a world selected. The worlds are procedurally generated using a random seed, so you'll never get the same world twice. There is multiplayer, but we're not going to talk about that. There is a dedicated server, all the sorts of things you would hope to see. So while this is loading, really, this game is a culmination of all the other crafting survival type games that you've played. The Forest, Conan, Portal Knights. There's a considerable amount of familiarity here. Now, one of the things that freak a lot of people out are when it says partial controller support. So I'm going to be playing with the Elite 2 controller, so you can see just where the limitations are, if any, of using this controller. So real quick, let's take a look at the map. This is what I've explored so far. You can see I did have a death location here, and you can zoom out and in. I did pick up a map fragment which told me that there is something over here to see. Obviously, this map is incredibly large. The world itself is huge. And so you can see here, there's a little bed which shows my particular camp, and there's me. This is sort of your original spawning point where these stones are. So that's what we're dealing with world-wise. You can see in the upper right. You can see my map, the direction I'm going. That white arrow, by the way, took me forever to figure out what that is. That's the time of day, so it's about 11 a.m. And yes, there are day and night modes. There are storms, weather patterns. I'm actually probably a little close to the shore with this my dwellings because, quite frankly, the storms can get pretty bad in this game. So let's take a look. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this. Down here in the bottom left shows you what food you're consuming, what your hunger level is, your current hit points, and your rest levels. Um, you can, of course, play with mouse and keyboard, obviously. This is my inventory. Your first 8 items have quick sets, so if you want to use something with a quick set, then just put it in one of these top 8 slots. Blue items are what I currently have selected. So right now I'm using my bow. I don't have any arrows selected, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to my controller. Oh, I guess I do have these arrows selected. All right. So crafting can be done anywhere. I mean, there's a certain number of things you can craft on your own without the benefits of needing a workbench or an enhanced workbench or things of that nature. Um, so it just so happens I do have a workbench and an enhanced one as well. So when you look at your workbench, you'll toggle between these panels, by the way, with the bumpers. And you'll immediately see over here that there is a repair item. Essentially, just start slapping the button and it'll fix anything that needs to be fixed in succession. You can only do this, of course, at a workbench. So this shows everything that I can currently craft based on the items that I have in my inventory. If you scroll down, you'll see items that I could craft if I had the right thing. In this case, I'm missing 4 wood. You can also go to upgrade. So this tells me that I have the ability to upgrade this particular item. These are all available for upgrade based on my workbench experience or my workbench level of 3, but I do not have the proper parts. Or, for example, in order for me to upgrade this flint knife, I'm going to have to upgrade my workbench to level 4. There's your bed. Your bed is your spawn point, and you can have multiple beds throughout the map, but only one spawn point at a time. When you're out in your workbench area, you can use your hammer. Once you turn that on, and you open up your build menu, you'll see the sorts of things you can build. Fire, stacks of logs, stacks of rocks. You can even build a raft. Crafting items right? So you build your workbench, you build your cooking racks, all of the different building components. You can get fairly creative with the building process. There's plenty of pieces and parts. In some games like this, there aren't pieces and parts, and you you basically just build a dwelling, right? In this case, you can actually build pretty much whatever dwelling you want, as well as defensive stuff and furnitures like beds, chests, torches, things of that nature. And you'll see that white line is showing you the sphere of influence of my workbench. So I can build anywhere within there. So that's the building piece of the equation. So I'm going to put myself with my nice knife. This is my favorite close quarters melee hunting. You can see at the top right that I'm fully rested, so my stamina will go up quickly. I'm going to go ahead and start eating. So you can see my food at the bottom. My last of my food is starting to flicker. You can essentially eat 3 different types of items at a time, and it sort of puts them in a queue. So I've got this cooked meat. I've got strawberries, and I could put this other type of meat on my thing. So now you can see that my potential health based on that combination of food is very great. A little bit of a different mechanic there than you're probably used to. I certainly was. So now you can walk around, you can run. As you see, my stamina bar is probably a lot higher than yours if you just started playing the game. And as you stop running, then your stamina will refill over time. Of course, you do have sneaking, running, jumping, rolling, all the sorts of things that you would expect. And you do have skills. So these are the skills that you will be building and how far along you are to getting the next level. The more you do it, the better your skills, and then the better you are at those said skills. So there's melee type attacking, which I don't have anything to really attack at the moment. And you can attack and block. I don't know why my things are backwards for some reason. Right, you have a secondary attack, blocking, and striking. You see my hit points are going up based on the food that I'm eating too. And you can rest as well. That's the other thing you can do. For ranged combat, press up on the D-pad, and that will select whatever one of your slots is currently highlighted, right? So if you wanted to use your hoe to level ground, you can. I don't know why it's not letting me level. Maybe it's because I'm not in my area of influence. There's fruit to be picked. There are birds to shoot. There's boars. There are deer. Hunting is required in this game. You will not make it far without it. So plan on doing a lot of hunting. I'm staying along the shore just so I can kind of keep my bearings. There are rocks to pick up, trees to break down, or wood to gather, right? So I'm going to just turn on my stone axe. I don't know what my controller's totally wigging out. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It was working fine earlier. But you can break down I don't know why this is totally making me crazy. So this particular oak tree is too hard, but you can bust down other stuff along with chopping down trees. And when you chop down trees, by the way, it actually can. That was interesting. It avoided going in the water. That was weird. When you chop down trees, oh, it floats too. That's kind of cool. You can actually take other trees down with it. The forest, like the trees kind of move out of the way. In this game, you can actually take down other trees. There's a boar. I'm going to go ahead and change to my knife. And we'll just go run that poor guy down. There are bonuses for back attacks, right? So run over, pick up some food and some leather. Rocks, of course. Always have to pick up rocks. There's flint, which is found near water. Get out of here. Bother me. These guys are a good source of that. Those little neck tails. They're just annoying. As I said before, there are also deer So like we kind of got the idea. You survive, you build better stuff, you upgrade your workbench, you get better this, better that. So what's the actual point of this game? So if you look in the log, and this may oh, hello. That's one of the bad guys, by the way. Those guys seem a lot tougher when you're first starting the game, unfortunately. When you don't have armor and you're basically running around buck ass naked with a club, it's not as useful. So there is a purpose to this game, and if you are to look at if you were to go through all of your compendium, it'll tell you all sorts of things. This Hugin Black Bird will tell you everything you need to know. As you perform certain tasks, as you pick up a certain this or a certain that, or you build X, Y, or Z, then slowly but surely they will start. The bird will show up and tell you more about the gameplay elements as you go. You probably will not see a bird because I don't think I'll be doing anything special. So you are supposed to go and kill some big bad guy, and they're telling you to do it incrementally, right? So before you can do this, you're not strong enough, so you need to go and prove yourself by killing this guy. I've experienced 4 or 5 different types of monsters, skeletons, trolls. You'll find these abandoned buildings all over the place. Sometimes there's a bed that you could use. This building is in pretty bad disrepair, and you can't fix it without building a workbench. So I technically could drop a workbench in here, and I could essentially take over all of these buildings, repair them, augment them, and make them into my own thing. Fix this bed, for example. I could do that. I could actually take this whole thing over. I wonder if I actually have what it would take to build a workbench right now. Probably not. Nah, what am I missing? A wood. I could make this happen. Just for fun. This is a hey, get out of there. So let me just go and gather a bit of wood here. Obviously trees are a better choice than these basic guys. And again, as you upgrade your weapons and your tools, they will do a better job. They will do more damage, quote, to the tree. Oh, by the way, did you see I took damage from that? Yeah. If you get underneath a tree that's being chopped down, you will take damage, and it could kill you. The game itself right now, we are having a very nice sunny day. There's no rain, there's no fog, there's no terrible things happening right now. But this is not necessarily indicative of the game. A lot of times you will find yourself engaged in some really nasty, nasty, nasty weather. So I'm going to build this guy right here, I believe, if I can. I have wood, so you can position it to your heart's content. And let's put it like sort of centralized here. Is that good? Can you let me put it down? Right here? I don't know. I don't know why it's not letting me put it down. Maybe it doesn't like the fact that the land's not flat. Oops. There we go. I don't know. The controller support is fine. I don't know why I'm having problems right now, but the controller support's fine. Okay, so now that I have a workbench, I can bring out my hammer and go into repair mode. All right. And now I can actually, if my controller wasn't totally wigging out, I could actually do repair. So you can see there's items that need to be fixed. Here, I'll just do it with the mouse. So I'm too far away. Dang it. So I won't be able to do everything here, but you get the idea. Once you lay that down, you'll be able to do some repairs and sort of claim this stuff for your own. Let me see if I think maybe I turned my controller on late. I did find a problem with that. If I turn the controller on afterwards, hopefully I bet my sphere's not. Yeah, well, there you go. I screwed up when I put the workbench down. Fortunately, you can simply destroy it and then put it back up again, right? You can recover your stuff. And then I'll put the workbench a little closer because I would like to claim that bed, actually. Oop, get up here. So, oops, hang on. I don't know what's going on. Controller's making me crazy. All right. So now we've got there. Now we should be able to repair all of this stuff that we want, right? Let me put myself into repair mode. I'll use the mouse, I suppose. I've played like 10 hours of this thing with the controller. It works. So you can rebuild all this stuff to make it a little more up to spec. And hopefully, I guess that bed is no good. I'll just have to destroy it. And then I'll put up my own bed. But I can, in the meantime, you know, I can repair this floor. I can put new floors in. I can fix the roof so the water doesn't come in, etc., etc. Yeah. So as you can see, it's starting to dim and get dark. Right now, as you can see in the upper right, I am in the meadows. I also am taking a statistical hit for being cold because it's starting to get to be nighttime. And so my stamina will go down faster, charge up slower. So you definitely take a hit. Oh, see, the bad guys are already starting to come out. Oh, that's the shaman too. They don't normally go down this easy. Oh, my goodness. I guess I need to actually behave myself and dodge. It's not working out, though. All right, so we're going to take this. Oh, well, you get to see me die. How about that? So you saw something that popped up that said skills lowered. You lose every time you die. There is a penalty, and your penalty is you will lose a little bit of your skill set. You'll lose a little bit of something that you've learned. You'll lose. So I am dead. We'll bring up the map and we'll see where my corpse is, which is way over here, which is going to be quite the trek. And of course, I have nothing. I have no clothes. I have no weapons. I have no knife. My goal is to avoid everything humanly possible and get to my corpse. And of course, it's not going to be that easy. Now, I have been building up my hand-to-hand combat over time. That guy's probably not going to give up either. So hopefully I can just stay ahead of him. It's taking forever. Oh, and I need to eat too, and I have no food. Bad time. So hopefully I'll be able to, there we go, pick up a berry on the way. Right? There we go. That'll help out. Keep me from being too knocked down. It's weird. The graphics at times, they obviously have this sort of weird voxel type look to them, which is obviously intentional because they don't have to have the graphics look like this. But at the same time, you'll see crazy reflections on the water, and you'll see all sorts of interesting. I'm not going after the deer. Deer carcasses are extraordinarily valuable in this game. Unfortunately, they're almost impossible to catch without a bow and arrow. They don't typically run into walls and get stuck there like on some other games. So, oh, look at this. Another building. Just random buildings you find. I am pretty much on target here to go retrieve my tombstone. Now, one of the things that I find annoying about this game, and it's probably by design, is I have another, up here somewhere, I think right in here, I have another bed and another house. So I could, if I can make it up there, I could reclaim that as my spawn bed, and I have extra weapons and other stuff up there. But there, you'll notice that there's nothing on the map that says that it's there. Only the active bed shows up. So you do have to do some of your own cartography if you want to keep track of where things are. This also includes finding underground dungeons, burial chambers, all sorts of stuff. So now, of course, I do not instantly get put back into my stuff, so I have to put back on my clothing, rearm my weapons, right? And I probably should put some sort of decent arrow on here, like a flint arrow, just to make sure that I don't get goosed here. All right. So that was a successful recovery of my body. Now, if I had taken a shot of my specs, I might have been able to tell what I might have lost as part of my death treatment. But I should be able to find my other home up here. It is nighttime, and crap. Of course, there's guys running around all over the place. I'm going to just avoid. I'm going to see if I can get back to my other home. Much like the forest or any other game, it pays to have multiple homes, multiple locations to which you can retreat to while you're exploring. And as you saw, this map is very large. There are different areas like meadows, mountains, black forest. Each one of these is just a little bit different in terms of the creatures you might find, the types of items available, right? Sometimes you'll find certain things that you might need in one location, but you won't find them in another. You'll find flint near the water, for example. So here's another abandoned building. Unfortunately, oh, there's mine. I was going to say, that's not mine. Mine's got a nice burning fire. Thank goodness. Is that guy still following me? They do get tenacious. Now that I'm a little closer. Oh, I ran out of frickin'. So when you're trying to shoot your arrow, unfortunately, you have a certain amount of stamina that is being used, and let me just get in here. Enough of this nonsense. All right, so now they will come in. I've kind of put some basic stuff around to keep them out, but I'm hoping that if I'm in my heat, then my stamina will recharge quicker. These guys are better easily dispatched with a knife. Get over here. Come here. Boy, oh boy, what's the deal? Normally, you just wanted to kick my butt a minute ago. Now that I got out the knife, you don't want any part of it. Where'd the other guy go? Now he's over there. We'll take care of him too. Oops, got to be careful. I knocked down my stuff. And so they drop stuff. Oh, I must have broken a piece of wood off of here. I'll have to repair it later. So I don't know if I have any items to cook. I do. I only have one item. So cooking, you throw it. You have to have a fire with the cooking thing over the top. And these things cook quickly. And if you don't get to them quickly, they will turn into little balls of coal. So cooking is, you got to be on top of it. So if you have friends that like to play with you, get yourself a chef like my friend Alex and have him cook and maintain everything. See that it's done now. In about 30 seconds, it would turn into a briquette. So as I was mentioning before, this is my other home. I can set this as my spawn point now. You'll notice on the map that my bed is no longer down here, but rather up here. So if I die, this is where I'll go back to. Very helpful. I've got some items tucked away in here. Is that actually... I'm going to use my mouse. You can... Oh, it is cooked fish. Do I have any of that? All right, I'll take that and put it up here. So yes, you can most definitely use the controller. I don't know why my trigger buttons are switched for some reason. It's making me crazy though. And so this is the basics, right? This is the very basics of the game. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, man, I mean, there's not a lot of enemies to fight, and this looks like a really slow burn. And in some ways, it is a slow burn. But you'll find that you'll be playing it for like an hour, 2 hours, and it's like, what the hell just happened? How come I'm still playing it? It's sucking me in. So anyway, this is just a quick look. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll do a full-blown look at the game if anybody's interested, but I did want to give out my opinions. This has been my current passion these days, is playing this thing. And it's a ton of fun. It's cheap. It's $20 on Steam. It is early access, but as you can see, it's in pretty good shape. And yes, the controller normally works as it's supposed to. The only thing that the controller... I've only found one thing the controller cannot do, and I'm sure it's just me, is I can't drop something. Like if I wanted to get rid of these rocks, right? I can pick it up, but I can't move it off of here. And there's probably a shortcut that I don't know about, but with the mouse you can grab it and drag it off and plop it out here. That's how you get rid of it. So whether there's just a missing mapping or something, I'm not sure, but I don't drop a lot of stuff, so it doesn't really matter. All right, it's starting a new day, day 14 for me, and the darkness will clear. And I was going to see maybe if it would start storming or something, but I'm thinking it's probably just going to be a regular day. When it storms, it's something to see, though. I'll tell you what. All right, listen. I hope you enjoyed this look at Valheim. Great, recommended. Just pick it up. You'll like it, and if you want to play, let me know. Maybe we can play sometime. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like the video, and of course, check the bell. Get notified of other great videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Shane R. Monroe. We'll see you next time. Take care.